All right, let's get started. Thank you again for joining us today. Today we are presenting Profit First, a plan for high volume Amazon sellers with CPA Lisa Corbitt. So
Thank
meet
you,
your
Sarah. Hi.
Yeah, of course. Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself? Feel free.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, oh, you're totally fine. So that is Lisa Corbitt, CPA. She is with Amazon Accounting Solutions. And we also have Andrew today, who's a senior business advisor with Webgility. So now I'm going to kick it over to Lisa.
Thanks, Sarah. As Sarah mentioned, I'm Lisa Corbitt, and I work with Amazon sellers all across the world to help them make more money so they can become more confident business owners and not only get their lives back, but create the lifestyle they've always dreamed about, which is why they started their Amazon business in the first place. So I want to welcome you to the webinar, Profit First for Amazon Sellers. And today I want to take time to talk about the 4 core principles of Profit First that will guarantee profits in your Amazon business and help you manage your cash flow at the same time. So just imagine that you just started your Amazon business, and for simplicity's sake, let's say you made $1,000 in gross revenue your first year. And I want you to take a minute and just jot down how that money was spent, including things like your Amazon fees, your inventory, software subscriptions. So did anyone remember profits or owner's pay or taxes? Because the key to having a very profitable Amazon business is to focus on the profit. You have to change the way you think about your business to change the results you're getting. So let's look at some quick stats on small businesses. Small Business Administration defines anything less than 25 million as a small business. So about 2/3 of businesses with employees survive at least 2 years, and about half survive at least 5 years. 50% survive within 5 years, and 1 out of 2 businesses is going to fail. Of those 50 that do survive, only 40% are profitable, 30% are break even, and 30% are continuously losing money. So basically what this means is that a lot of people on this webinar have businesses that are suffering. The reality is most Amazon sellers aren't making a profit and they're strapped for cash because the same old thinking is always going to get you the same old results. The very first problem I see most often is this. You're checking your bank account every single day to see if you have money for your business. And when there's money in the account, you feel a sense of relief and you think you can go buy that inventory you need or add that software you've been researching. But when the balance in the account is low, you think, oh crap, I have to cut back on my spending or I won't be able to pay myself this week, or I'll have to wait to order my inventory restocked. This constant checking of the bank account is called bank balance accounting, and we all do it. So don't beat yourself up about it. You're 100% completely normal, but this behavior, this bank balance accounting, is costing you money and it's increasing the stress and inefficiencies in your Amazon business. But here's what's really going on. You're battling the law of human nature called Parkinsons Law. Parkinsons Law states that the demand for something increases to meet the available supply. So here's one of my favorite examples of Parkinson's Law in action. Imagine yourself in the bathroom in the morning and you reach for the tube of toothpaste to brush your teeth. You find a full tube of toothpaste and you just squeeze and go. You don't even think about the amount of toothpaste that you use. This behavior continues morning after morning until one day the tube of toothpaste is almost empty, but you know there's more toothpaste in there. So you take the tube of toothpaste and you smash it against the countertop and you push the toothpaste to the top. Or you take your toothbrush and you use it like an iron to press all the toothpaste to the top of the tube. I know you're laughing because you've done something similar. We all do. It's human nature. But what is happening here is a perfect example of Parkinson's Law. Demand grows to meet the supply available. When we have a full tube of toothpaste, we just squeeze and go. But when the toothpaste tube is empty, we somehow figure out how to get by with much less. We can get by on much less toothpaste, which is the demand, when the toothpaste is almost empty or in limited supply. You probably do the same thing with the shampoo bottle or possibly even the toilet paper, but we don't want to go there. So when we're faced with an almost empty tube of toothpaste, 2 things happen. We get frugal, and then we innovate. We get by on less, we come up with new ways to operate. And that's exactly what's going on with bank balance accounting. When we receive income, that money goes into our bank account. And if we only have one bank account, then that's the same as a full tube of toothpaste. We look at the bank balance and we just spend and go. But when the balance in that account gets low, we get frugal and we innovate. We come up with new ways to cut back, at least for a while, and we create new ways to get some money coming into the business. Since we have the ability to be frugal and get by on less, and we can be innovative and creative when we need to, then this needs to be the way we operate business every day. But we don't really force ourselves to do that when we only have one bank account. Everyone knows that one big component of getting to or maintaining a healthy weight is your diet. And oftentimes we receive big plates of food and we eat it all, or at least 95% of it, and then we usually eat our veggies last if they're on the plate. Ideally, we need to use smaller plates, eat our veggies first, and remove any temptation and repeat. That's why the first core principle of Profit First for Amazon sellers is to establish the foundational bank account. This is similar to using small plates. If you're trying to lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle, one way to eat less is to use smaller plates. And when you use smaller plates, you'll eat less. And when you eat less and combine that with other healthy activities, which we'll talk about next, then we lose weight and become healthier. Oops, is there a slide with the bank accounts on there? Did we go too far?
Oh, let me see here. Sorry about that, Lisa.
That's okay.
Let's see. Well, we had this poll question. We want to start here?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, perfect. So this is, what is your biggest financial challenge? So I'm going to go ahead and launch this, give you guys about a minute or so to get your answers in. So again, what is your biggest financial challenge? Is it inventory replenishment, paying yourself a fair wage, paying your taxes, or taking a profit? All right, we've got about half the votes in. Give you another 20 seconds or so. All right, I'm going to close in about 5 seconds. All right. Oh, here we go. What do you think about this, Lisa? It looks like 54% taking a profit. Yeah.
Yeah, taking a profit. I should have added another option on here, which is all of the above, because most sellers that I work with really struggle in all of these areas. But taking a profit and paying myself a fair wage are definitely at the top of the list. So there should be a slide in there, Sarah, that has the bank accounts listed out. I have it as slide 9. Okay, that's slide 9.
Yeah, sorry about that. Looks like we are on slide 9.
That's it. Try the next one.
Oh, there we go. Fundamental bank account.
Oh, okay. So the foundational bank accounts for Amazon sellers, there's 6 primary accounts. There's the income account, inventory, profit, owner's pay, tax, and then operating expenses. And I'll explain all these as we go further through. When you start to see income or revenue from your Amazon business as one of these foundational accounts, you really start to act differently. So for example, the $10,000 settlement you just received, well, it really isn't all your money. Some of that $10,000 is your profit. Some of it has to go pay taxes on that profit. Some of that money needs to be set aside for your most important employee, the owner, that's you. and some of the money is to replace your inventory so you can continue to make sales. Some of it also needs to be set aside to pay the operating expenses of your Amazon business, such as cloud software tools and virtual assistants. So if that $10,000 sits in one bank account, well, it looks like $10,000 or a full tube of toothpaste. So Profit First for Amazon sellers teaches you to leverage your normal human behavior, bank balance accounting, into a profitable and efficient way to view the money in your Amazon business. So here's what you need to do right now, today. Go down to your bank and set up these foundational accounts: income, inventory, profit, owner's pay, tax, and operating expenses. You probably already have one account set up already, but that's where all your deposits are going, and that's where you pay all of your bills out of. You can rename that existing account Income OPEX, because if you're primarily selling on Amazon, more than 80% of your revenue is coming from Amazon, you really don't need a separate income and operating expense account. When you go to the bank, you may have to explain to the person what you're doing and why you're doing it. And if they want to charge you fees for the multiple bank accounts, just ask them to waive those fees. Most banks will. If they don't or they won't, call around to some other banks or credit unions and ask them to help you out. You really might be surprised what you get when you ask. We found credit unions to be really valuable. But first, you have to set up these accounts. So don't try to keep one account and do Profit First in a spreadsheet. That absolutely won't work. The reason is you're not going to check a spreadsheet to see how much money you have. You're going to do what's easiest. You're going to check the bank balance in the account. That tells the real story. But when you have these foundational accounts set up and there's money in those accounts, you'll quickly know what you need to do. Trust me, Profit First is that simple. Don't complicate it. Set up your accounts, use small plates, and leverage Parkinsons Law. And that's the first core principle of Profit First for Amazon sellers. So now we're going to take care of the most important thing in your business first, your profit. So when you take your profit first, you'll experience a psychological phenomenon that will help make your Amazon business permanently profitable. So we talked about how to lose weight and be healthy by using small plates. The second core principle also comes from nutritional science. So if you want to establish healthy eating habits, you need to eat the nutrient-rich foods first. You know, filling up on the veggies and the fruit and the lean protein before you move on to the mac and cheese and desserts. The nutrient-rich food for your business is profit. And like I said earlier, we're going to make you profitable starting today. So the second core principle of Profit First for Amazon sellers is this: you have to serve sequentially. What I mean by that is you have to prioritize the money in your Amazon business. Stephen Covey writes in his book by the same name about putting first things first. So I just explained how to view the money coming into your Amazon business by setting up small plates or the foundational bank accounts. These are the income, inventory, profit, owner's pay, tax, and operating expenses. And these accounts listed in this way also mirror the priority of your Amazon business. There's a reason for this, and let me explain. There's a psychological phenomenon called the primacy effect. And the primacy effect states that we place additional significance on whatever we encounter first. So the accounting world manages cash so that we encounter spending first and then profit. Well, that's whatever is left over. And it looks like this. Accountants use this equation: sales minus expenses equals profit. So when we focus on expenses first, that's what gets our attention. So we spend, hoping that something is left over. But Profit First for Amazon sellers leverages that primacy effect in our favor with a slightly modified equation: sales minus profit equals expenses. So when we take our profit first, then we focus on keeping profit and we adjust how we operate the business. Stealing money from the profit account to pay the expenses hurts, but more on that later. So let's review the foundational accounts, and I'll explain why the order is so important. First of all, income. Without any income or revenue, you have no business. Income comes first, but this is just a pass-through account. All of the income that gets deposited into your business goes into this income account, then that money gets allocated out twice a month. And like I said before, if more than 80% of your revenue is from Amazon sales and you take a biweekly payout, you can combine this account with your OPEX account. So in effect, Amazon is the bulk of your income, and they hold your funds for 2 weeks. So this serves the purpose of an income account, as in Mike Michalowicz's book, Profit First. So to continue to have your Amazon deposits made into your operating account and then make the transfers from this account. So I'll explain the twice a month allocations in core principle number 4, but for now, the income account is where Profit First starts. The next account, which is not on this slide, is inventory, but it's really important for Amazon sellers because that's what the bulk of your business is, and you're really kind of the exception to the rule when it comes to allocating to the profit account first. Profit First allocations are typically made from real revenue, and real revenue assumes that all your materials and subcontractors have already been paid, or for an Amazon seller, you have to ensure that you're setting funds aside for your inventory, because again, without inventory to sell, you have no business. So next is profit. The most important reason you're in business is to generate a profit. So your business generates revenue or income, but without profit, you'll go out of business. So that's why the profit account is the next account you allocate money into. Hang with me for just a few more minutes and I'll make you profitable today. So next is the owner's pay account, and we've made a profit. We need to take care of the most important employee. That's you, the owner. Without you, the business wouldn't exist. And although you may have some great employees, you come first. You've spent enough time not paying yourself, and you've lost enough sleep worrying about how you're going to pay your personal bills. But that needs to stop now, because you're going to make yourself and your compensation a priority. No more working as an unpaid employee for a profitless business. So now that you have profit, we're going to pay taxes on that profit. The tax account comes next. So many Amazon sellers have to wait and find out from their CPAs how much they owe in tax and spend most of the year worrying about what that tax bill will be. And then bam, in the spring, they get hit with a tax bill from the government, a bill from their CPA, and they don't have the cash to pay either one. Then extensions get filed, money gets borrowed, and the stress continues to rise. But it really doesn't have to be this way. So twice a month, when you allocate your income and you fund your profit accounts, you're going to deal with this important aspect of your business, taxes. You don't have to worry about the tax bill because you'll see the tax account build up each month. So finally, we need to focus on the operating account. This account shows us how much money you have to operate your business, the bills you need to pay. So it sounds strange to say, but the operations of the business come last in the sequence of importance, but it's usually the thing that requires the most work. So after you've set the priority with the other accounts, if you don't have enough money left to pay your bills, excuse me, then this is your business screaming at you to operate your business differently. You have to change. And I know change is hard, but prioritizing your revenue in this way, in this sequence, will enable you to see exactly what needs to change in your business. So here's what I need you to do, and I promise this will make you profitable. So you take your total balance in your bank account right now, and I want you to transfer 1% of that balance into your profit account. Don't skip this step. Don't wait until tomorrow. Do it today. So for example, if you have $10,000 in your bank account, I want you to transfer $100 into that profit account. It's just 1%. And if you can operate your business on $10,000, you can operate it on $9,900. You won't miss it, I promise. And when you transfer that 1% to your profit account and you don't touch it, then it's still going to be there at the end of the year. So congratulations, you just became profitable. Now I know it's small, it's only 1%, but that's why it's so important. It's so small that it's practically impossible not to do, but the impact is really going to be huge. Taking your profit first is going to change the way you start viewing the cash in your business, and then it starts to change your mindset. So I want to make sure that it's not easy to slip back into your old habits, those habits of checking the bank balance, spending whatever's in there, and then not being able to produce a profit or pay your taxes. And then that's where the next principle comes in. So this is core principle number 3, and it's this: you have to remove temptation. Here's what I mean. Now that you have a profit account set up and you've allocated money into that account, you can still see it. It's right there when you log into your bank account. And if you don't make it difficult, maybe even a little bit painful to access that money, you're going to be tempted to pull it back. you'll call it an investment or plowing profits back. And then when cash gets tight, you'll say, well, I'll just need to use it this one time, and I promise I'll put it back. Please don't do this. This is bank balance accounting at its worst. So remove the temptation to steal from yourself, which is your profit, or from the government, which are your taxes. So I'm not saying that you're actually stealing from the government, but when you make a profit, you have to pay taxes. So you need to make sure that you're setting some money aside each time you take your profit first. That's why I recommend setting up 2 accounts at a separate bank. So these are your hold accounts. One hold account is a profit account, and the other account is your tax hold account. Once the money goes into these accounts, you want to make it difficult to get the funds back out. You can do this by limiting the check writing capabilities from these accounts. You can add another person on the account, a spouse or a business partner or a trusted mentor, and require that other person to sign for any withdrawals. So you're starting to make your business permanently profitable, and I don't want anything to distract you from your goal, including that little devil on your shoulder encouraging to steal from yourself. So we're talking about making your Amazon business extremely healthy. And just like improving your physical health, you need to remove the things in your house that will tempt you to cheat if you're on a diet. So setting your hold accounts at a separate bank is kind of like going through your cabinets and fridge and getting rid of all the chips and the cookies and ice cream and all the other junk food. But unlike the junk food that's no good for you, we're locking away the most important thing for your business, profit, and what used to be the most painful part of your business, your taxes. So if you're borrowing money from the profit or tax account to pay your bills, you're actually stealing money from your company. But when these things are locked away, then it forces you to do the most effective thing for your business, change the way you operate. So the next thing I want you to do is set up your hold accounts at a separate bank, a profit hold and a tax hold. Lock that profit away and protect Uncle Sam's money at another bank. Remove the temptation, and you'll be able to focus on your business. You'll be able to pay your quarterly taxes and make regular owner's distributions. So Profit First for Amazon sellers is designed to be that simple, so that's why it's so effective. So the fourth core principle of Profit First for Amazon sellers is this: you need to enforce a rhythm. A major problem for a lot of Amazon sellers struggling to make a profit and managing their cash flow is that they don't know how to predict when the money will come in and when the money will go out. So they spend too much time reacting to the balance in the bank account instead of proactively running their business. So the solution to this problem is called the 10-25 rule. So I'll explain what I mean and how to follow the 10-25 rule in just a minute. When you read Profit First, you'll find a lot of talk about nutritional and dietary science and how this applies to running a healthy business. For example, if you wait until you're hungry to eat, it's already too late. Your hunger will cause you to overeat, and when you overeat, you go from starved to stuffed and back to starving again. Then these peaks and valleys in your hunger result in way too much calorie consumption. Whoops, I think if you just go back one, I think there's a little error in the slides. I'll just continue on this one for now. But you may have heard that eating 5 small meals a day is actually better than 3. And if you never get hungry, then you avoid the peaks and valleys and you'll eat fewer calories. Eating more frequent, smaller meals establishes a rhythm, and it creates a habit, and good habits become disciplines. The 10-25 rule in Profit First for Amazon sellers works the exact same way. When income comes in, you let it pile up in the income account for 2 weeks. Then you allocate all the money from the income account to the other accounts on the 10th and 25th. That's where it gets its name. Then we pay all the bills that are due for the next 2 weeks, and then we get back to running our business and living our lives. Repeat again in 2 weeks, every 10th and 25th. This creates a rhythm, creates a habit, and you'll be less reactionary and more purposeful and focused. And not only do we want to use the 10-25 rule to allocate the income for those 2 weeks, but you'll also start to notice something that you aren't seeing right now. You start to see what your income is for every 2-week period. And when the income is lower than the previous 2 weeks, you can stop and think about why that income is lower than before. You'll ask yourself, what's happened over the past 2 weeks or months that limited the income? Why isn't the income higher? You start to ask questions that lead to answers to your cash flow problems. And on the flip side, when the income is up, you can determine what activities led to the increase in income and just repeat those things. So here's a super simple way to apply the 10-25 rule. Let's assume that you have a target revenue of $1 million for the year. So you need to produce an average of $19,230 each week for 52 weeks to hit that goal. So if my annual goal is 1 million, then I know I need to produce an average revenue of about 40,000 every 2 weeks. So when I total up the income on the 10th and 25th of each month, if that income isn't about $40,000 for those 2 weeks, then I know I need to do something different. I need to take action to hit the numbers that I want. And if you look at your cash or income every 2 weeks, you're going to start to spot trends, the trends that increase cash in your business and the trends that limit cash into your business. So cash flow analysis becomes a simplified process or habitual activities. So that's the key to making your Amazon business permanently profitable. Just doing small activities on a frequent basis that produce huge results over time. In other words, establishing a habit of profit. As Mike McAllowitz says, profit is not an event, profit is a habit. Now, if you only sell on Amazon or more than 80% of your income from Amazon, you most likely have a biweekly payout rhythm set by Amazon, which may not exactly fit into the 10-25 rule. So it's okay to adjust your rhythm based on when you receive your biweekly payout. Most of my clients that I work with do it on the Monday after. But here's one small step I want you to do to make Profit First for Amazon sellers a habit. Go to your calendar, make an appointment with yourself on the 10th and the 25th, or the day after you receive your biweekly payouts, and set this up as a recurring event. So this is what you are going to do from now on. Pick a time that makes sense for you. I usually do mine first thing in the morning. I don't worry if the days fall on a weekend or a holiday. You see those coming up and you can just make adjustments on your calendar. Make the appointment, call it Profit First Transfers, and put them on your calendar. Set a reminder if you need to, but make sure to keep those appointments with yourself and don't leave this to chance. Okay, so now you have the foundation for implementing Profit First for Amazon sellers in your business. The 4 core principles give you the framework to make your Amazon business permanently profitable. We are going to email everyone on this webinar some tools that we created to help you get started. So what's next? We've covered the 4 core principles of Profit First for Amazon sellers. So now it's time to put your plan in motion. You might be thinking, I don't have all my numbers figured out yet, or I'm not ready, or I've got more questions, but don't worry about that yet, because Profit First for Amazon sellers is a really simple system to implement. You'll have your foundational account set up, and you'll have moved your first 1% of your total bank balance into your profit account. And if you're like many sellers, this is going to be the first time you ever made a profit, and our poll question showed that. So you're already on your way to making your Amazon business permanently profitable. You'll lock your profit and tax vault accounts at a separate bank and remove the temptation of spending that profit in the business and change your habits. You've also created your rhythm with the 10-25 rule so that you can become more disciplined with paying your bills and managing your cash. But here's what you may not realize. You will already be doing Profit First. And we haven't even analyzed your profit and loss statement, you haven't cut expenses, and we haven't evaluated products for profitability. So you've done the hardest part, you've gotten started. Remember that 1% you move to the profit account, that's where it all starts. So keep transferring 1% of your income into the profit account twice a month on the 10th and 25th, and then do this for the next few weeks. Then increase it by another 1%. Then you'll be transferring 2% into your profit account. Just keep repeating this until you hit your target percentages. And that's one of the things we're going to email you is what you should set those target percentages as. So once you start seeing your profits accumulate, it's going to be impossible to ignore this undeniable result of those profits, your taxes. So you're going to be aware that you need to start setting aside your taxes too. So do the same thing. Start really small. setting aside 1 to 2% of your income in your tax account, and just keep increasing this percentage every few weeks until you've determined your target percentages for your total revenue for all your accounts. But here's what's going to happen. When you start small with your profit and your taxes and you increase those percentages just little by little, then the remaining money for your owner's compensation and your OPEX is going to start to get a little tight. But this is actually what we want to happen. When you approach implementation slowly over several months, you start to become aware of how you need to change the operations of your business to guarantee profits. So you'll see which products produce the highest margins. You'll find inefficiencies in your operations, software that you have not been using, and you'll become more confident in your numbers. So starting really doesn't require a deep analysis. It only requires starting. So do one small thing today and then just compound that over time. Do you need the initial assessment as outlined in the Profit First book? Absolutely yes. Do you need to establish your target percentages of total revenue? Yes. Do you need to change the way you operate your business and how you evaluate products to sell? Yes. But you don't have to wait to start. You can start the Profit First system right now. In fact, once you transfer that 1% of your bank balance into your profit account, you've already started. So you're light years ahead of other sellers. So just keep going. Most Amazon sellers are not making a profit, which makes them feel uncertain about what to do to grow their Amazon business. And I want you to have confidence in your Amazon business so that you can make more money, stop wasting time, and get your life back. So Andrew, would you like to show them how Webgility can help them do that?
Sure thing. Thanks, Lisa. Alrighty. So with Webgility, we can definitely help with, seeing your profits, of course. And the way Webgility is going to do this is, our software will connect directly to your different marketplaces. So of course, Amazon as that main one, but as many of you may also be selling on other channels, we'll connect to those other channels as well. And we'll be pulling in all the transaction level details into your accounting software. And Webgility can also take into account your marketplace fees, so specifically Amazon settlement reports, different payment processing fees, your shipping expenses as well. So we can get really granular kind of profit reports within your QuickBooks for you. So that will really help. And then within Webgility too, as you can see on the screen, we have some great metrics too, so you guys can see a quick glance at how business is going for a certain time or week. And then of course with QuickBooks or whatnot, you can run your formal reporting through there, and they'll be super accurate with all the information that Webgility will be putting in for you automatically. And here's a quick screenshot of some of the things that of course we can see. So we'll take the order information, we'll see the taxes that you've collected on that order, any discounts applied, and then we'll get that net order total. We can pull your costs of the items from your accounting software, therefore showing your gross profit, and then taking into account marketplace fees, payment processing fees, and shipping fees. If you do ship with something like ShipStation or Shipping Easy, we'll pull those directly into, so you have a really accurate net profit, of course.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Andy. Of course, we are Webgility. We are here to automate QuickBooks and NetSuite. We can help scale your business, speed it up, and make it a whole lot more accurate. So let's go right into our Q&A. And if you have not submitted a question yet, please feel free. It's going to be right over in your little dashboard there. But Lisa, Andy, do you want to get started? It looks like we do have some questions already.
Yeah, Lucinda asks, are there handouts? So I'm going to be emailing everyone who attended the webinar some tools that we created to help you see what your target percentages should be, help you figure out where you're currently at and where you want to go. So definitely, we'll send those out. And Lori asks if there's going to be a replay.
So Lori, there will not be a replay, but this will live on Webgility's YouTube channel. It will live on webgility.com, and it will be emailed to you after the fact as well. So you will have a chance to see it again.
One of the questions that I get asked a lot is if you're just starting your Amazon business, should you implement profit first? And the answer is absolutely, because there's no better time to purposefully put profitability into your business than when you're starting. So I recommend that you just start with target percentages based on your revenue, and that chart that I'm going to send out will show you what those percentages should be. So definitely, if you're a new seller, now's a great time to implement profit first.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like those are all the user questions. Lisa, did you have any more of the FAQs you'd like to go over?
Yeah, another one that I get asked a lot is if you have a lot of debt in your business. It's hard to imagine profitability when you have a lot of debt, but when in actuality, your business really needs to be profitable to help you get out of debt. So what I recommend for people who do have lots of debt is to make their minimum payments on their debt from their operating expense and continue to put that profit into your profit account. But then at the end of each quarter, when you do your profit distribution, you can take 99% of that profit and use it to pay down debt. And Mike Michalowicz recommends using Dave Ramsey's snowball method. So start with the smallest debt that you have and really attack it and start paying that down, and then just keep moving on to your larger debt.
All right, Andy, it looks like we have a Webgility question. So can you field this one? It says, please clarify how Webgility will implement these ideas/accounts in QuickBooks.
Yeah, so the way that this would be done, of course, so with, setup, we, as, we begin setup with those accounts that kind of that we've been talking about. We'll actually get these accounts set up so you can start syncing sales to the proper accounts and start keeping track of, the order level details and all of the different expenses, therefore, getting a clear profit report so you guys have more insights into your Amazon businesses.
Yeah, definitely having that clarity around your numbers will really help with profit first as well, because this is where you're kind of starting from your profit and loss report and taking those numbers and figuring out where you stand currently and developing a plan to get where you want to go. So having that detail that Webgility can give you is really important.
Of course, we couldn't agree more here at Webgility. All right, it looks like, yeah, it looks like those are the rest of the questions, unless you wanted to add anything else, Miss Lisa.
I do not at this time.
All right, well, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us today, and thank you for everyone who attended the webinar. Again, yeah, of course. If you are looking for more information about us or about Lisa, we will be following up with some emails. So again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar.